When I came here as a freshman, I was really excited. Both my parents went here. They were Spartans. My older sister graduated here not too long ago, and I think I have a combined 14 family members who are either currently Spartans and have graduated here as well. So super excited to get started, but I knew I had a lot of work to go coming from Honey Bay.
The opportunity to take the ice for the Spartans was nothing short of a dream come true for redshirt senior forward Connor Wood. However, his route to donning the green and white was much different than most, as he skated a challenging path toward his chance to make an impact for MSU.
So the typical college hockey freshman might be coming in at 20, 21 years old even. So for me, coming in as an 18-year-old, the plan was to, get in, get some experience with the practice, and really get bigger and faster in the weight room and all those little things. And just being around the program was going to be a big help to me.
There's not a lot of red shirts in hockey that aren't associated with injury. When it's an actual red shirt like Connor did, you have to really start to get your attaboys from good practices, from feeling that you're getting better doing little things in practice and contributing to the team by supplying the energy and the work habits on a daily basis. And that can be a mental grind.
It was extremely difficult not playing in games, but I just knew that it was all going to pay off, and we had a lot of upperclassmen and a lot of guys with experience. So just learning everything I could from them and just watching them was a really good experience for me. In my mind, I was still competing for a lineup spot. The plan was for me to redshirt, but I always thought in the back of my mind if I was going to compete hard and do well that I could potentially play. So that was what kept me going, was really the opportunity to maybe play.
But as the season rolled along, Connor never lost the red shirt, and in turn he never dressed for a game, which left him with more questions than answers going into the following season.
The redshirt year finally ended, and I was super excited to finally get my feet wet in some games, and the season began, and it just wasn't in the cards for me to play that year. It was hard for me to crack the lineup. So moving forward as the season progressed, the opportunity presented itself for me to go and finish the season with the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL. And that was a difficult decision for me leaving the team because I worked so hard to get here. But ultimately it was the best thing for me to develop my game and get some real game experience, and then come back to campus and make a real impact on the team.
We thought it'd be a good idea for him if it worked for his schedule academically and his time frame to maybe go get some game experience. We thought 2 years with no game experience was a lot of time, and so he chose to do that. We didn't tell him to do it. He chose to do that, and I think it was a good decision for him.
The junior stage is something that I sort of bypassed when I came here to Michigan State. So the whole, living with a billet family and living in a new city, living away from home is, it was pretty something new to me. So it was exciting, but also very nervous. When I got there, I sort of had to reinvent my game. Growing up playing for Honey Bay, I was really a goal scorer and someone who was looked to be in that role, but I really reinvented my game there and focused on the defensive side of the puck and really just being an energy guy. This was something ultimately that was going to get me in the Spartan lineup. It was going to get me that experience that most guys have coming into Michigan State, so I knew that it was going to put me in a better position.
For him, I think that junior hockey experience kind of enlightened him to say, okay, I think I can do this here at the Division I college level and be effective at it. And I really think that mentally helped his approach and helped him become more effective as a player on our team.
Played it over for Drager, back for Boyd, ahead for Wood. And now Pesci chases one back into his zone.
My first game was out at the University of New Hampshire. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be playing that night. It was kind of a nerve-wracking feeling. I remember my parents were in the air. They were coming out because there was a possibility I was going to be playing. And we had morning skate, and I ended up texting my dad, and he was in the air. I said, "I'm in tonight," and he goes, "Great, because we're in the air right now, so we'll see you soon." And it was a really cool experience. Great weekend, played great, and couldn't have asked for a better first experience.
Leaving it in front for Connor Wood! Big goal from Michigan State!
Foul
bouncing puck, a chance to Wood, shoots and he scores!
As I finally did get in the lineup, I sort of developed a role, and that role is just be an energy guy. You know, I remember a couple years ago, as a Secret Santa gift, I got some Energizer Bunny batteries. So, you know, that's sort of been my role here the last couple of years, and, you know, it continues to grow, and that's, you know, a third or fourth line energy guy, and, you know, it doesn't really show too much on the stat sheet often, but a big change in momentum, a big shift, and hemming the other team in the zone is really what I do best.
He and his line mates need to provide energy to our team. They need to try to gain as much offensive zone time as they can. They're going to oftentimes come out after a power play or penalty kill situations where other players are playing and lines are broken up. So they need to try to shift the momentum our way.
I think that role is huge. You know, you see a game and there's lots of ups and downs. And, you know, let's say that they score a goal on us, we got to come back and gain the momentum back. So, you know, my line and my role is something that can do that. We can go out there, create some buzz, and get some hits, and maybe get some shots on net, and really change the momentum for our team.
He's not a big, strong, physical guy, but he can be in your space constantly and irritate opposition players in that manner. And so, you know, he's a bit of a water bug out there, the way he covers the ground, and, you know, he's shifty and nifty and can get up and down the ice in a hurry. And when he's on his game, that's what he's doing. In addition to that, he's got a real strong positive attitude. He's vocal on the bench, which when you're looking at lineup changes, you consider those things. Is somebody going to add to the bench, or they're not going to add to the bench? Are they going to add to the dressing room? They're not going to add to the dressing room. And I think he's done a good job embracing a leadership role, even in his role.
You know, I know it's been a difficult time while I've been here. We've struggled, but we've had a lot of ups and downs. But, you know, I just want people to remember me as a great teammate, a great person in the community, and just someone who, you know, poured it all out there on the ice on Friday and Saturday nights, and just, you know, respected an unbelievable effort out of me. My experience here has been something that's been, you know, awesome, unbelievable. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it wasn't really what I envisioned. You know, I wanted to come in here and be a goal scorer and put up a ton of points and a bunch of different records, but, you know, it's almost been a more satisfying experience the way that I've done it. You know, I haven't earned anything easy. You know, it's always been the hard way and dealing with a ton of adversity, and, you know, I think I'm a much better person for it, and, you know, it's prepared me to move on to the next chapter of my life, whatever that might be, and, you know, just really had a chip on my shoulder the whole time and just earning everything that I've gotten.
As the new calendar year begins, the young Spartan hockey team continues to work hard and improve every week. Drawing on both highs and lows from the first half of the year, the team remains focused on getting better every day. However, the Big Ten schedule provides little reprieve for a team that's been battling top 10 teams week in and week out since October. And this past weekend was the Spartans' greatest test to date. A trip to Penn State to play the number 4 team in the nation in one of the toughest buildings in the country.
Cross ice pass to Osborne, open, and a shot and a goal for Michigan State. Zach Osborne took the beautiful cross ice pass in the right circle, went upstairs, and Michigan State has the lead. Taken away by Michigan State. Here comes Joe Cox down the middle by himself behind the defense. Comes in, zips, and goal for Michigan State. Joe Cox with a nifty move as he comes in and scores shorthanded. Michigan State falls to Penn State in the opener of the series. Spartans gave Penn State everything they had tonight. Penn State knows they were in a battle, and they know they're going to be in for another one tomorrow night.
We are getting better as we gain experience, and I think you know, the leadership on the team helps keep things focused and pushing forward.
Knuckling towards Jones, makes the save. Hirose on the rebound, scores! Toro Hirose Michigan State just keeps coming, and they're rewarded, and they open up the scoring.
We've done a pretty good job of staying together, and like I said, you gotta reinforce the good habits and the good plays that guys make, even the small ones like a little pass to the middle or good support by your forward. As a defenseman, you want to go up and tell your forward, hey, way to be there, open in the middle, so that they keep doing that, because eventually those plays will add up and hopefully they'll help us start to win some games.
And win battles.
Perosi tipped, it's Mason Appleton. That's a great sign for Tom Anastos and the Michigan State Spartans when you get your big forward rolling. Check. Scores!
A lot of guys that are really positive on the bench, really a lot of energy guys that are bringing us up. And those are the guys that really help us stay focused on the game and keep us going forward.
Him. Smirnoff walks in alone, shoots, scores!
Frustrating loss because a very winnable game. 49 minutes, you couldn't ask for better effort and performance by Michigan State, and Penn State was threatened, and they responded like an elite team does.
Pretty frustrating to come out of there with 2 losses, especially with how well we played through some parts of those games. Obviously, you're never going to be perfect in any game, but I thought we played really well.
We've made a lot of steps forward. There's no negative attitudes in the locker room. Everyone's positive. They've seen what we could do, especially after North Dakota. We've just had a couple down weekends, and pucks haven't went our way. So, I mean, everyone's positive. Everyone knows what we can do.
You just got to come together even more and tell your line mates, hey, that's a good play. Reinforce the good plays that they make, and hopefully they'll do the same for you, because you got to keep pushing forward and keep grinding it out until the bounces start falling in for you.
We have to be accountable for our body of work to date. The record isn't nearly where we want it to be. Parts of our game we're pretty pleased with where it's at, and there are other parts of our game that has to get better, and we've got to take responsibility for that and make sure we're focusing on improving all phases of our game. And then, most importantly, when we bring it together, we've got to have it all working. I think that's part of the growing up process of a team like we have this season. The good news is I like our leadership. I like the approach guys take coming to the rink every single day. You know, we talked about the next weekend. The next game is the most important game of the season, and that has to be our sole focus, playing a good 60 or 65 minutes, whatever's necessary to win that game on Friday night.
The game of hockey means everything to the Anastos family.
Putting it all together.
Putting it all together, I like it.
For years, Tom has sat at the head of the table as a coach, a father, and a fan, balancing the demanding life of a collegiate hockey coach with making meaningful memories with his family.
For Thanksgiving morning and on New Year's Day, like, we would rent out the rink in the suburbanized Farmington Hills, and just our family would go out and skate together. So it'd be like our family and extended family, and I would say that's definitely my first memory. I mean, I remember I would go out there with my mouth guard on just because I like to wear it for some odd reason, and no one could hear what I was saying. They're like, just take that out, you don't need it. And I was like, no, I like wearing it. So
it became a bit of a family tradition. The kids really looked forward to it, and whether the kids who played hockey or not just skated, they all kind of had their roles. So the rink was shut down. It was just us and those people that we invited, and they always looked forward to it.
for all of us growing up, like, hockey was always a part of it. Not all of my other siblings played. One of my older sisters, Jenna, will say that she retired after her big goal against the best goalie in the league. So that was her claim to fame in hockey, in the hockey world. With him being the commissioner of the CCHA at the time, we would go to a lot of games, especially the GLI. And I specifically remember not being able to root for any teams. But like when Michigan State would score or something, you'd always just be yes. Like underneath the table because we weren't supposed to be able to cheer for a specific team.
Well, it brought your family together like it does in many families for different reasons. Our kids were really active in sports. My wife was probably the best athlete in the household, and so she encouraged the kids to play lots of different things, and hockey was the thing that I did, so it gave me an opportunity typically to spend a little extra time with the kids that did play hockey, whether it's driving somewhere, making a few memories, getting lost, or whatever it was. We did that as a whole family, and I know that they talk about it even today, what memories it made.
As some of the Anastos kids continued to play sports, the former Spartan forward had to learn to juggle his passion for the game and his role as a father.
He didn't push any of us to play. I mean, I always played other sports growing up as well, and he always made the comment, like, you can play whatever you want, like, don't feel pressured to have to play hockey, like, just because I did that, like, just whatever you have fun with and makes you happy, do that.
Lisa and I, we just wanted them to participate in sports, so we exposed them to a lot of different things. Most of them all tried it, and but I was adamant about them finding their own passion, not pursuing mine.
And for Andy, the passion to pursue hockey was something that came naturally, even if taking advice from her dad didn't.
Because I think stubbornness runs in our family, so like he would come tell you something and be like, no, I'm fine, I'm doing great out here. But like I definitely need to be more open to what he's telling me, because clearly he knows what he's doing. He was very helpful. I mean, just from a transition from playing from like one team like at a lower level to another level, like I didn't want to make that transition, but he like was like, no, you'll be fine doing it, and so that took a year or two to get adjusted, and he obviously helped with that and helped me develop my game so I could play at a higher level of hockey.
I think she was questioning whether or not she was capable of playing at that level, and we went to an early season tournament and everything kind of came together. She ended up being the MVP of the tournament, and I think her confidence just really exploded at that point. And then it was onward and upward from there once she got that confidence. So it's a difficult balance, because your dad, and at the same time I was coaching them, so trying to find that balance where, as she mentioned, yeah, they're listening, but I'm not sure, or they hear you, but I'm not sure they're always listening. I don't know, there's a magic formula for that.
Whatever formula the Anastoses used worked. Andy landed a scholarship to play for Boston College, and Tom landed his dream job, becoming the head coach at his alma mater.
BC is like, I think about it sometimes and I couldn't imagine myself going to a different school to play, so I think that's a really cool thing to have. Like, my coaches are great out there, and everyone's just always been so like together that it just makes it like a second little family over there. And so like being able to like have that and be so comfortable over there and then be able to play this sport is amazing.
When Mark Hollis presented the opportunity for me, the very first people that I went to were my kids and my wife, because as excited as I was about it, I wanted to make sure they were all in. And the kids immediately, you got to do it, Dad. And my wife said the same thing. And so knowing that, to me, this is an experience about us, not about me.
With the Anastos family now spread throughout the country, all with their own busy schedules to manage, it's hard to always find time for family. But hockey remains a constant that brings them all together, whether it's following Tom's games on TV or cheering Andy on from the stands in Boston. The Anastos family remains thankful for the game that has been so important to whom they are.
Well, it brings our family together. It's obviously the distance takes us in different directions at times, but that's been the case when you have a family of 5 kids who are all active. You're used to going different places at different times, but everybody's dialed in very closely and excited for the highs and certainly challenged by the lows, but we're all in communication. My wife Lisa tries to spend as much time as she can going to Boston to follow Andy's games. We get to watch them on the internet. All the kids are engaged and come to my games when they can. So I'd say it's kind of a centerpiece to our family at this point.
I think it's helped also shape a lot of our personalities. Like, you can kind of tell who has played the game versus who hasn't. But it like makes it more fun to like hear the other opinions, or just, especially, well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, Alyssa is hilarious with it, just because like her personality is like, oh, okay, go. All of us will be like super upset if they lose a game, or they'll all be happy for me if like my team wins a game. So I think it does bring us together, and that we're all supporting each other, no matter who's playing, or like even if you're not playing, you're like wanting his team to do well, and just, I don't know, it really brings us all together. Yeah.
We're all in. Well, I think the thing that stands out most is our family is uber competitive, and I think not just hockey, but all the sports activities, the environment that we have at home creates a real competitive environment. Our kids, my wife, we all hate to lose, probably our dog too. It's just really a competitive environment. I think that's an important thing to attack the world when she graduates from school as to whatever she's going to pursue. But it also is again, a centerpiece to bring everybody together. So whether it's attending one of our games or one of the kids' games that it's growing up, it really has been a centerpiece for lots of great moments. And in challenging moments, there's nobody that you can rely on more than your own family to support you.
Hockey and family. The only things that matter.